If you've been in business long enough, you're going to run across jobs and customers that you wish you never took on and who you never met. Unfortunately, last week I ran into another one of these customers like that and another job that I wish I would have passed on. So we got a call from this potential customer. My service took down all of the pertinent information needed to move forward with a quote. They were requesting an estimate on their house and their driveway. Apparently they were renting this property and were now moving out, and the owner of the house had done an inspection to determine what all needed to be done before they could move out and before they got their deposit back. As you can see from the driveway, these people had what appears to be multiple vehicles that were leaking oil all over the concrete, and they did nothing to prevent the leaks in the vehicles and clearly did nothing to protect or clean the concrete of the driveway. So it was pretty heavily stained. Fortunately, the customer did mention to me that there were a bunch of grease stains and oil stains on the driveway that they needed to have removed, so I was prepared and I could quote accordingly. When they did tell me that it was pretty bad, I asked to get a couple of pics texted over to me. But real quick, I did want to mention that we're giving away a pressure washing business starter kit from 𝗤𝘂𝗁𝗤. We are giving away a 4-gallon per minute pressure washer from Southeast Soft Wash, a 20-inch surface cleaner, and a 100-foot of high pressure hose. Everything that you need to get started if you're new in the business, or something that you can add to your current setup if you are already established. So you have until January 1st to register, and you don't want to miss this. There is a link in the comments section below. So obviously in a scenario like this, we needed to set expectations from the very start and let them know that while we are really good at what we do, we're not miracle workers, and because of the porous nature of concrete and the fact that there are some pretty significant oil stains that tend to be pretty stubborn and oftentimes nearly impossible to remove completely. In fact, there are very rare cases that you can completely remove oil stains from concrete that have been there for a while. Sometimes if you can catch it immediately, you can almost get it all. But even in situations like that, I always preface the conversation by letting the customer know that it ain't going to be perfect. It will be significantly better, but it's not going to be perfect. So always set expectations. And not only do I say this, but I also email or text it over. It's all in the customer contract. I don't want there to ever be any opportunity for a customer to tell me that they're not satisfied with the job because we didn't do what we said we were going to do. And by knowing your job, knowing the things that you're going to run into, having these things established in your contract, as well as verbally communicating this to the customer, you're setting yourself up not to be put in a situation that could get uncomfortable. And if you happen to show up at a property and found something like this or anything else that's out of the ordinary, it's always important to take notes, document everything, and inform the customer prior to starting work. And we do this using the 28-point inspection in 𝗤𝘂𝗁𝗤, just an added step in the process and a measure we take to eliminate any potential issues from our customers, accusations of shoddy work, or even damage to the property. So like I said, I sent them over the email letting them know what to expect from our appointment, as far as things like moving plants, furniture, rugs, and anything else that needs to be taken care of before we show up, but also to set expectations. In this particular scenario, I did ask for a confirmation email back just to verify they understood the stains are not going to be removed completely. The reason that I was so over the top with the customer was because they did say they were renters, they were trying to get their deposit back, and they did have staining on their driveway that was their fault, that looked really bad from the pictures they sent. So bad, in fact, that I almost didn't want to take the job because I knew we weren't going to be able to do what they wanted us to do, and probably what the homeowner was wanting us to do as well. And in the back of my mind, I kind of knew that this was going to be an issue. But again, this is why I did everything that I thought I needed to in order to communicate thoroughly to all involved that needed to be communicated with. So in the past, we've had customers that were not happy with the job performed. Sometimes they were just really picky customers who were nitpicking every single detail on the job, and I don't fault them for that. They're paying us to perform a service we're supposed to deliver. If we under-deliver, then we're going to correct whatever the issue was. However, if the customer expectations are higher than what we promised or what we quoted, that is when things can get a little bit difficult, and that is also why I have put things in place and say things like I say to the customer in order to prevent miscommunication or not meeting expectations. But like I was saying, if a customer refuses to pay, if they have an issue with the service, we address it, we try to resolve it. We want our customers to be happy. We go above and beyond at every single job to ensure complete customer satisfaction. And this goes from the initial point of contact, the quote, the scheduling, the job itself, the follow-up, to the invoicing. We want to make every aspect as easy as possible, and we want that customer experience to be absolutely flawless. We want to create customers for life, because customers for life keep paying. They keep telling their friends about us. They keep telling their family about us, and they're going to write us a review. And did I mention they keep paying us? So it's absolutely critical that we do everything we can to solidify that relationship and then continually reinforce it throughout the course of that customer's lifetime, so that we are always staying in front of them, so that they're always going to remember who to call when they need somebody to perform the services that you're performing, whatever those are. So back to this driveway. As you can see, we first treated the driveway with sodium hypochlorite to kill all organic growth on and in the concrete. And if you skip this step, you're not doing everything you can to give the best results for your customer. And before people go crazy in the comment section, you can do this step in the cleaning as a post-treatment as well. We also treated this driveway with a degreaser from Southeast Soft Wash to help penetrate the stains, emulsify the oil, which helps the staining to be removed easier with our surface cleaner or our wand. And if you have any questions about how to clean driveways or anything else on a residential property, check out 𝗤𝘂𝗏. We cover everything from the chemicals that you use, how to mix them, the equipment, basically everything that you need to know in order to hit the ground running. There is a link below for that as well. But I knew it was going to take way more time than a normal concrete cleaning, way more chemicals, both SH and degreaser, way more effort, and likely a customer that wasn't entirely thrilled with the end result, despite the ridiculous amount of conversation and communication prior to starting this job. So we went ahead, we got the driveway done. I thought it looked really good, or at least a hell of a lot better than it did before we showed up. The renters were not there at the time of completion, so we were unable to do a walkthrough with them. But of course, before and after pictures were taken, we then sent the invoice, and if you can believe it, they actually responded back that they weren't happy with the results, that we needed to come on back and finish up the job if we wanted to get paid. Now, one thing we typically don't do is ask for a deposit or upfront payment. In my opinion, it's not something that I like to do. It's not how I represent my company. And the main reason is because the customers that we typically work for are not those that we think are going to try to shit us out of money. But in this scenario, in hindsight, I probably should have. But instead of doing that, I just got the property owner's contact information, and I also communicated with him, letting him know that I understood his situation and that he needed to get the property looking as good as possible, but also my concern that these folks were renters, they were the point of contact, and they may try to ship me out of some money. And if that did happen, someone was going to have to pay, and it was going to have to be him. And if not, there were legal actions that could be taken, and of course, I'm referring to a contractor's lien or a mechanic's lien. But he assured me that that was not going to be the case. So that did make me feel a little bit better about the situation until I got the email saying that they weren't going to pay us until the job was finished. So clearly these folks thought they were dealing with somebody that was as stupid as they were, and that's just not the case. So I went ahead and I contacted the owner of the property. I sent him the before and after pictures, sent him the email from the renters, and asked for his input. He said that it looked great, actually better than he had anticipated, and asked how much we were charging for the cleaning. So I gave him the price, and he told me just to go ahead and send him the invoice, which he paid immediately, letting me know that he was just going to take that payment for the pressure cleaning out of their deposit, so there would be no issues for us. So there are some times that it's just better to walk away. If you get that gut feeling that things are going to go south, they probably are. Now, had we been super busy, right, if it had been the spring or the summer and not the winter when we have a tendency to slow down a little bit more, I probably would have just walked away, not even thought twice about it. But fortunately, we made it out of this one okay. Don't forget to check out 𝗤𝘂𝗏. Don't forget to register to win the Pressure Washing Business Starter Kit from 𝗤𝘂𝗏𝗏. All of the links for that are in the description below. And as always, thanks for watching.